And doing, what's it called? Ready? You ready?
Mhm.
You ready? Let's go then. This is the drive home with TT for the Millwall drive home. Driving home from the Den. Where it finished. Millwall 2. Leeds United 1. Yes, come on you Lions. As we're going to be told, that was our cup final, weren't it, Leeds fans? Well, we certainly played a lot better than we have done recently. We attacked from the start. Let's make no doubt about it. The red cards made a massive impact on the game. But no less than we deserved at that stage. And even though Leeds play with 10 men they obviously attacked straight in the start of the second half. They only created that one chance on goal. The one shot on target was all they had. And defensively, we looked really solid today. And that starts right from the front. We'll go for our formation. We started with 4-5-1. The Bart man in goal. I thought he killed the game well in the second half. Had very little to do, to be honest with you. You know, he wasn't really called into action, which is very surprising because regardless of whether they got 10 men or not, they're still a quality side and they passed the ball around really, really well. But they just couldn't really put any pressure on the Bart man. Like I said, he killed the game well. He took his time where he needed to. And you know, I remember him claiming a couple of crosses, but very, very quiet game for Bart, so I can't give him anything other than a 7. Zach, what would you give Bart?
Just because he caught a few crosses and I don't really remember the goal, but I think it was quite a good one, so I think I'll give him an 8 or a 7. So.
All right, 7 or 8 for Zach. Then we moved that back 4. We had Marlon Romeo right back, Murray Wallace left back, and Hutchinson and Cooper at centre backs. And to be honest, all 4 of them played defensively really well, certainly the second half, because they were under pressure and they held up to that pressure. We'll start with Marlon Romeo. An absolutely superb performance by Marlon. He got caught once in the first half. He didn't catch us. He didn't catch us out, but he did get caught once. But his defensive play today was excellent. You know, he had Alioski on him most of the time, who's obviously a quality little winger. And he did score and probably beat him at the back post, but I don't think that was more Marlon's fault, to be honest. Going forward, he looked really energetic, really lively, put a couple of decent balls into the box. So for me, Marlon Romeo comfortably gets an 8. Zach?
I would say he done so much better defensive work, and I think it's very hard for him because obviously all the players are downgraded. Obviously they're downhearted because Harris is gone, so I'll give him an 8 or a 9 too.
Oh, 8 or a 9 for Marlon Romeo. We'll go left back, Murray Wallace. Again, a strong performance by Murray. You know, they didn't get in behind him very often. He's done, you know, like he done at Luton, where he let the player get in behind him. He didn't really do that today. He kept him in front of him. He just was, like I said, as part of the back 4, was very solid, very, very able to get in front of the defender and start the attack, and I felt he done that really well. But I'll give him a 7. Zach?
Same.
7 for Murray Wallace. And then Cooper and Hutchinson in the centre of the defence. I thought both of them, you know, dealt with everything. Dealt with absolutely everything into the box. Like I said, there were so few chances created, and we kept Leeds out of our box, and that's not. It's got a lot to do with the fact that both of them are there. I thought that it was nice to see Cooper trying to dribble out with the ball. You know, that's something he hasn't really done. You know, he's been constantly just launching it a straightforward pass, and it's come back to us. Well, he didn't do that today. You know, he tried to run on the ball and try and take it out, even from the start. And he done that excellently. You know, obviously always a danger from corners. We're a little bit unlucky that he didn't make the most of any of them. But I'm happily able to give Cooper an 8. Zach, for Cooper?
I'll give both of them an 8.
Okay, 8 for Cooper and 8 for Hutchinson. And I will give. I'm going to give Hutchinson a 9. And the reason I'm going to give him a 9 is because of him being captain. You know, the fact that he does lead by example. He really is a captain that does things the right way. You know, he puts himself on the line. You know, there was a few blocks, there was a few challenges where he's had to get there, but he never looked like he was out of position, and that's really important against a team that moved the ball so quickly. He just, like I said, he was not out of position. He marshalled that back four really, really well, and so for me, he gets a 9. We'll then move into midfield, where we had a midfield 5 today. We had Jed Wallace as right midfield. We had Shane Ferguson as left midfield. We had 2 kind of holding, sitting midfielders at the start, Leonard and Malumbe, and Ben Thompson playing in behind the striker. Potentially it was 4-5-1, but I think probably most of the time it's 4-4-1. It was 4-4-1 in possession, 4-5-1 out of possession. And, you know, I talk a lot about Jed's running on the ball and Jed's ability. Today, everything come together for Jed. You know, potentially, let me just say, right, his penalty was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. The fact that he's put it top left-hand corner, and I've got to be honest, Zach, where did you say the penalty was going to go?
Top left-hand corner.
So Zach obviously knows Jed Wallace better than most, because he absolutely called it, and he smashed it top left-hand corner. You know, Harry Kane-esque, if I could say that. But his all-round game today was absolutely superb. Constantly the live wire, and he had about 20 minutes in the second half where he sat more defensive, but he still tries to get us out. You know, he's so important to running on the ball and running with the ball out of defence, because we just can't afford to keep lobbing it forward. Although I'll go on to that in a minute, because that was better today. I just thought Jed's overall performance today was excellent, and for that reason I'm going to give him a 9. Zach, what about you?
First of all, I know how people take their penalties, because I know when they're going down the middle, because I always put mine either top left or bottom left.
Yeah.
So I know how they set it up, and he was facing in the middle of the ball but slightly tilting a bit right, so then you know he's going to curve it into the top left-hand corner. What
would you give him? Thanks for that penalty coaching there, but what are you going to give him out of 10?
I would say he would be a 9.
9 for Jed Wallace. Now we'll move on to the left midfielder, which was Shane Ferguson. I thought it was a solid performance from Shane. You know, different to Jed in terms of, obviously he doesn't have that running on the ball, that talent, but he does have where he makes us so much more solid on the left side. You know, him and Murray Wallace just completely, other than the goal that Leeds scored straight after half time, and you know, you talk about it, you're going in 10, they're down to 10 men. All you need to do is shore it up. I said to Zach, first 20 minutes, hold on to it. But like we did at Ellen Road a couple of seasons ago, we concede within 30 seconds of play, and then it's back to the walls, and a typical Mill performance, which it was a typical Mill. You know, you're never comfortable being a Millwall fan, and like I said, they play the ball around so well, Leeds, that you can only hold your hands up when there's a good footballing side coming into the den, and they are quality. Other than the fact they got Patrick Bamford up front, who's an absolute bellend, but the rest of the team is really good. But I thought Ferguson shored us up left, and he's able to, you know, just beat a man, drop a shoulder, and lay it off, and he done that really effectively today. So for that reason, I'll give him a comfortable 7. Zach, what will you give Fergie?
I mean, he did play really well, so I'll give him an 8.
Oh, he's giving him an 8. Then we move into the centre of midfield, where we had Jason Malumbe, and we had started with Ryan Leonard, and I thought Leonard had a really good start to the game. It was disappointing that we lost him to injury, but the team ploughed on regardless, you know, and it was good to see that all three midfielders, central midfielders, trying to get onto the ball, making good interplay. You know, they weren't just getting rid of it, they weren't just hitting the channels, they were trying to hold on to the ball and look for each other, and that's what we need to do moving forward. You know, our midfielders need to be able to link to get us up the pitch without just getting it more direct up to the forwards. And I thought that Malumbe to a lesser extent, but you know, his tackles, he picked up a silly booking again, which he's got to be careful of, because we can't afford to lose players, and you know, we can't afford to go down to 10 men. If we go down to 10 men, I think it's a completely different story. But both of them played. Obviously Leonard was only on for 15 minutes, and to be honest, Williams come on for Leonard, and William other than once where he lost the ball, I felt like he seemed more relaxed, he seemed more able to battle, and he battled really, really well today. You know, Williams battled, Leonard battled, and Malumbe battled it, and kept everything in front of them. You know, and if they've very rarely got caught behind or out of position, they're able to join in with the attack and make sure that the ball went to Thompson and Bradshaw as quickly as possible. So I'll give all three of them a comfortable 7. Zach?
Whereas in Jason Mulumbe, I loved today. He was pushing, he was being amazing. So I would give him an 8.
Yeah.
I'll give Leonard 8 too.
Yeah.
And then I'll give Williams a 7/8.
Okay, well that's all right. That's not bad. And then we move to our front two, or Bradshaw and Ben Thompson. Like I said, they didn't play as a 2, but it was 1-1. Both of them were absolutely superb, you know, in completely different ways. But Thompson a little bit less so, but he's driving on the ball. And our first goal purely comes from the fact that they don't expect Thompson to be able to out-jump. I think he out-jumped Ayling, who's a quality player. And he's got up above him, nodded it down into Bradshaw's path, which you could see it caught them unawares. And it's into Bradshaw's path, and he's running in on goal. And to be honest, I felt that there was very little contact for the penalty. We don't get many decisions at the Den. We get even fewer decisions away from home. So the fact that we got one, and you've got to take it. And but he's done so well, Ben, to get up there and lay it into Bradshaw. And Bradshaw's done the right thing. He's run across the defender and made the defender. There's definitely contact, but it's minimal at best. And obviously wins us the penalty. And the other thing then you look at, sorry, I should have mentioned with Fergie, because Fergie brilliantly assisted the second goal, where he's on the byline, not on the byline, level with the 18-yard line, whips an early ball into Tom Bradshaw, who I'll go on to in a minute. I'll go on to the finish, but you know, it was a really good cross from Ferguson, and I forgot to mention that, so better to get it in there. But, you know, Ben Thompson's driving on the ball and getting the crowd on, and literally, you can't work any harder than Ben. You know, he come off the pitch after 80 minutes and he was gone to the world. And what I absolutely loved when he come off was that Adam Barrett, he brings on a striker. You know, I know it helps that they're down to 10 men, but Budvarsson, when he come on, was able to then win balls in the air. He won a few in the air when he come on. He has a great chance, Budvarsson, to make it 3-1. But you know, there's no way he's going to put it in, because we have to be nervous right to the final whistle. But we seemed more comfortable holding out, which is very unusual for us. And I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe things are changing, and it's hard to look at one game where they're down to 10 men, but when you've got players like Ben Thompson on the pitch, I just think, for me, if he's fit, he plays every week, every minute of every game if he's fit, because he's just absolutely unbelievable. And for that reason, I'm going to give him a 9.5. Zach, what are you going to give Ben Thompson?
It's so hard, because he weren't on his top form today, because I think he was a bit... Because we call him one of our own, because he's always supporting Millwall, and as a kid, Neil Harris was his legend. Like I said earlier, everyone's downhearted today because Harris has gone. So I think I'll give him a solid 8. Okay,
all right. And then we'll move to Bradshaw. Bradshaw was my man of the match at Luton, and by far my man of the match today. You know, he was everything what we've been looking for. And it's a little bit unlucky, you could say, for Neil, and that he never really had the chance to get the best out of Tom Bradshaw. But Bradshaw won, you know, he won a lot of his battles in the air. He won, you know, he was able to run down the channels. He was quick. He reacted really well off the Thompson header to get in play for the penalty that he won. His movement for the second goal, you know, was just absolutely brilliant. He done the same thing in the second half, where he's just made a run. There's a ball into the box. He's got in front of the defender, and his finish was, you know, he sorts his body out, little flick into the corner for the goal, and he done it again in the second half, and was quite unlucky that he just couldn't beat the near post. But his movement and desire and his passion is excellent, and he's a massive addition to the squad, and it feels like a new signing. I know that sounds silly, but we've not really had him, and he was so good today. And I can comfortably And I think maybe the first time since I've been doing the drive home, and the ratings, but I can comfortably give him a 10. Zach?
Yeah, I know Bradshaw with a few of his touches, he got it off the pitch, but that's fine. Sometimes he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
He made a brilliant chest. Like, he jumped like a frog into the air, chested it down, and then touched it. And I thought it was amazing to dive a little bit to go for the penalty.
Yeah.
So I think I'll give him a 10 like you.
Okay. Who's your man of the match, by the way?
It's very hard, but I would say Leonard.
Oh, no.
And
He only played 15 minutes.
I know, but he still played well for when he was playing, and Bradshaw.
Okay. Well, you know Bradshaw's mine. We'll go on to Refwatch. As I mentioned, James Lillington was the ref, and we got a bit lucky. There's no doubt about it. It was the very minimal contact to give us the penalty, and he's given the decision. And then even more, surprising was that he sent him off. I thought because he gave us the penalty, he was only going to give him a booking. He was through on goal. So, like I said, we'll take it. Second half, he made a couple of weird decisions. It looked like he didn't want to book a Leeds player afterwards, and obviously we picked up a few bookings where we're stopping their attack and time wasting, all pretty much deserved. But you can't really argue once you get a big decision like that, you're going to get a ref trying to even it up a little bit, and we got a bit lucky. I would like to say the atmosphere today again was last 10 minutes really powered them over the line, and it's nice to know that no one is bigger than any football club, and Neil's now moved on, but we're still going, and we're still going to be. And then we've got Brentford after the international break. It's really nice that we've got a couple of weeks without any football, and to finish on the back of on a game where we were able to play some football, able to run on the ball, pressure them. The amount of times we pressured them, Leeds kept trying to play it from the back, and we won the ball over so many times. And like I said, we were a little bit unlucky not to make the most of that. But you can ask no more from the team. After losing the manager, you do normally get a reaction, a bit of luck with a referee. But I am absolutely buzzing off my nut. I've seen people talk about a crack pipe and drugs and slay off the drugs, TT. Well, I've never taken a drug in my life. My drug is my club. My drug is football, and I absolutely love it to bits. So many of you come up to me today and said they love the channel, which means an absolute load to me because I love doing it. Thanks for watching. Put it in the comments what you want to say, and I hope there's loads of them today. Like the video if you don't mind. 3 points.